All right, everybody, it is here. TombSwap is now live. Let's talk about just briefly what TombSwap is and what it'll do, and then we'll show some examples as we get over there. First thing we do, we want to get to TombSwap. We're going to start on the home page here, and you'll notice 5 down will be your swap. You could just go ahead and click swap. The actual address for that is going to be swap.tomb.com. And this is now a very good time to let everybody know that the legacy site will be getting retired. It will be going away. So we are focused now just on tomb.com as the official Tomb Finance site. Now that we're here on Swap, if you've ever used a swap before, you'll be very familiar with how it works. There won't be a whole lot of explanation or anything new that you will need to know in order to utilize this. For everybody else that's brand new and has never used a swap before, we'll simply go over the steps once you've gotten to this screen. Now, if you've already been in the cemetery and you've already been in the masonry, then you would have connected your wallet at some point. On Swap, you'll need to reconnect your wallet. So in the top right, you will simply go to Wallet Connect. You'll click on the button, and then you'll sign over that, yes, you're good to go, and connect the wallet that you want to use for the swap. Once you're there, you'll see this screen here. It should auto-populate under Tomb, whatever balance you have. As you can see here, it's showing 339 Tomb. We're going to be using this Tomb for some swaps later in this video. Now you have two fields here that are very important. You have a from field and you have a to field. The from field is what you are selling in order to gain what's in your to field. For example, if we have Tomb up top and any other token down below, we're selling Tomb in order to get more of this token, whatever we select. All right, so that is what needs to be approved. Now, again, if this is your first time on here, you'll need to approve your sell asset. You'll need to approve swap to be able to use that asset to sell. So that's why it's important. That's why sometimes over the course of the next few times you use this, you're going to need to start approving Tomb. You're going to need to be approving T-Share and T-Bond and My and Wrapped Phantom and all the things that you want to use in this swap. So let's get right into just swapping something out real quick. We're going to start with Tomb. And we're gonna take a look at select token. So when we click on this, it's gonna auto load what tokens TombSwap will be able to process. We have Phantom, we have Tomb, which is doled out because we already have it selected in the from field. We have T-Bond, My, T-Share, and Wrapped Phantom. So what we don't have is My, T-Share, and Wrapped Phantom. So we're gonna say, let's get some My. And for this example, let's go with 50 Tomb. Now, this account has already approved Tomb, okay? But it has not yet approved My. So if we were going the other way around, you'll notice an approve button over here. Now, because the balance of My is 0, we'll do the swap first, and then I'll show you how that looks. Now, in this very simple scenario here, we're going to sell 50 Tomb, and that's going to net us 93.033 estimated My. All right, and then we have the price over here of Tomb per My, and then all the way down below swap, you can see the minimum received is going to be 92.57. The price impact is very little. It'll show you that right here. And then liquidity provider fees. So if you hover over the little question mark, you'll notice that 0.25 goes to liquidity providers. So down the road, when LPs do get added, right, they will be getting a little bit of kickback. They'll be getting 0.25 of that fee, which is fantastic. And then the other 0.25, so the total fee is 0.50. The other 0.25 goes to the protocol, which means it's feeding the DAO, it's building the war chest, and it's bringing stability to the peg. So all very good things and things that entice people to use TombSwap, and not only to get their swaps done, keep them in-house, keep them on tomb.com, but also to help support the protocol all by itself by pushing into the DAO and providing a larger war chest for times when the peg needs a little bit more stability. Now, from this situation here, it's like anything else. We're going to hit swap. We're going to get our details down below of where we're at here, what the current price of TOMB is, what we're looking at, minimum to receive. If you wait on this screen too long, it's going to sort of readjust itself. So just look it over, make sure it's correct, and then we could go ahead and hit confirm swap. Once you do that, your MetaMask will open. You'll have to come over here and take a look over here, make sure everything is right. Swap.tomb.com. This is good. Our estimated gas fee is at 0.04. Site suggested, that's fine. And then, yeah, so everything else is good. For all things considered, for the fees just on the Phantom blockchain alone, it's very simple. Transaction is submitted. If you clicked view on FTM scan, which we'll do for the video, you'll just be able to get to that particular transaction. You can see the status is success. And then you can take a look at all of the details over here if you so desire. Let's go back over here and we can close this window. Now that the window's closed, we can see what we have here, right? Now we have a balance of my, and we've lost a little bit of the TOMB. Circling back to approving anything from the from column. If we were to flip these around using this button right here, we say, okay, well now we want to swap my, we're going to swap 20 my for TOMB. Here we go over here. Now we have to approve my. Sometimes you just got to give it a second for it to work itself out. But yes, so now we would have to approve my because we're using that asset to sell. All right. So I just want to make that clear for everybody that needs to know when they need to approve and when they don't. So let's go back to our prior example here. We're going to flip this back over. We're going to put TOMB on top. And then what we're going to look at is getting a little bit of T-share and getting a little wrapped FTM. So we can bring this over here. We should be able to hit that button. That'll bring TOMB back to the top. And instead of my, right now we're going to select T-share. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, okay, we want to use 50 TOMB, and however much T-share that gets us, that's what we want to swap for. So again, we're swapping TOMB for T-share. We've already approved TOMB. There's no reason to do that again. It's time to just hit swap. We're going to confirm the swap, and then we're going to sign it over here. You see our gas fee is still 0.04, which is great. We're going to hit confirm. That's good. Now, last time we went to FTM scan, you don't have to do that. You never have to do that if you don't want to. You can go ahead and close that window, and it'll auto-populate when it's done. You can see it's already done. It's very fast. Got 0.01 T-share. Great. Now we're going to do one more swap. We're going to get rid of T-share over here and say, well, now we want wrapped FTM. So we're going to click on wrapped FTM. And again, we've already approved TOMB, so we're good to go. We'll do another 50 TOMB. We're going to swap that over to wrapped FTM. We're going to see our price over here is 1.00. And again, you have your price impact, minimum received, and the liquidity provider fees. We're going to hit swap. We're going to confirm swap. We're going to come over to MetaMask. We're going to confirm the gas usage at 0.04 again. And we're going to hit confirm, close this window. And in a minute, you'll see that that balance will go up into the 47 and change zone from what we were suggested to get after we put in the 52. Once that populates, you'll notice that in very short period of time, we've taken care of 3 swaps directly on tomb.com, which is amazing. And then on top of that, those fees, 0.25 of those fees, have made their way over to Tomb's DAO. And when we do have LPs, which will be coming down the road, when we do have LPs, those LPs will be getting fees back, which again is fantastic. You'll be taking, 0.125 from Tomb, 0.125 from Wrap Phantom, if this was going to be an LP, right? And then you're just growing your LP stack. Speaking of LPs, one LP that we do not have is a Tomb T-Share LP. That LP will be coming down the road, and it will be coming specifically to TombSwap. So why not take this time to create one small LP using the liquidity tab? By doing so, we're already ready to go. So when that LP does open up, and you'll see it in the cemetery, and trust me, there'll be announcements in the Discord and Telegram, so you're not going to miss it. When that happens, you're already ready. The LPs are already made, and then you could just go and stake them. Now, the way liquidity providing works is you're going to take two different assets, you're going to combine them together, you're going to bond them together, and you're going to let the protocol use those for liquidity. So such is the case here. We are providing Tomb, we're going to provide T-Share in our LPs, and then when people go and swap using those assets, they'll be able to pull from those liquidity pairings. So what we want to do here is we want to add liquidity. So we're going to click on add liquidity. It's going to open up a window that looks very similar to the swap window, except instead of from and to, we have input and input. You could call this input 1, input 2. You could call it input A, input B. You call it ingredient 1, ingredient 2. Whatever you want to call it does not make any difference. The fact remains the same that of one asset, you want equal value of the other asset. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a Tomb T-Share LP because this will be coming down the road. Now, one thing you can do so that you are keeping with the harmony of the protocol, let's just say, or the ease of turning, let's say, masonry rewards, which would be your Tomb, and using that with your cemetery rewards, which would be your T-Share, and combining those two over, take the one that has the least amount, and then that one you can hit max on. And I'll show you that right now. Now we know we have far more Tomb than we do T-Share because we only converted 50 Tomb to T-Share. So if I did max right now on Tomb, we would not have enough T-Share to actually make that LP. So that's not going to work. So instead, what we could do is we can hit max on T-Share because those 50 Tomb we know are less than the 189 Tomb we have in the account. And so for that reason, we can use all of our T-Share. We can really maximize our T-Share, and then it's only going to pull as much Tomb as needed. 49.7561 Tomb will be utilized when you use the max feature. All right. So again, you want to max your lowest one and never, ever, ever max when you're on that chain. So for example, we are on Phantom Opera. Never max your FTM, right? Because you need that for your gas. So never, ever, ever do that. Something that you definitely want to try to remember. You got some data points down here, which are real good. T-Share per Tomb is what you're going to be getting. Tomb per T-Share. So vice versa of the two. Share of the pool. So for people that are trading in hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, obviously their share of the pool will be much, much, much larger. In this example, we register as less than 0.01% of the pool. All right. So now over here, again, because you're using two different ingredients, it's slightly different than if you're in the swap. So we're using T-Share. We have not used T-Share before. So now we're going to need to approve T-Share. Very simple process. You come over, you pay the 3 cents, you hit confirm, you're good to go. Give that a minute, just like everything in all of these protocols, right? Even though the transaction is done, it takes a little bit for the transaction to then go to the chain, for the chain to recognize it back to the site, for the site to then update the UI. All of that stuff takes a little bit more time. Now you'll notice over here that we confirmed it and it still says approved T-Share. If you give this enough time, it'll fix itself. See, we touched nothing and it's already good to go. Now, all we need to do is hit supply. So let's do that. Let's create an LP right now. We're going to receive 0.83411 as an LP, Tomb T-Share Pool tokens. Right now, again, we can't stake this just yet, but we're just getting prepped and ready to go. So let's confirm supply. It's going to open up MetaMask again. And what it's doing in the background is it's bonding our Tomb to our T-share and then creating another asset. It's, well, not another asset, but it's creating through a contract a liquidity provider asset, let's just say. So another LP. And that LP, we could see that we were getting the amount that was given to us designed by that LP. So it was 0.83 or something along the line, just shy of 1. All right, now, as this is going over here, you'll see in the top right, add 49.72 and 0.14. Adding the two together, right, and then forming an LP. Now, when that's all done, you can see down at the bottom, your position. So T-share TOMB LP, we have 0.8341. Of that, our T-share represents 0.014, and our TOMB represents 49.7561. Congratulations, you have now made your first LP. Down the road, you will be heading to the cemetery, and the cemetery will add in another LP here, which will be your TOMB T-share LP. And there'll be more LPs coming. There's going to be a TOMB My LP as well. So just stay in touch with the announcements on the Discord, with Telegram, on Twitter. Any one of those sources will be announcing any new LPs as they come up. All right, but that will wrap it up for this somewhat quick video just on Swap, how to use it, what it looks like, what kind of features it has, and then we will see you on the next video. We'll talk about some more advanced features and different products as they come down the road and they're available for everyone to use.